Hey guys, welcome back to Bad Luck Garage. Today we're going to do something a little different. I've actually got some stuff to do on the truck, just some piddly stuff, and kind of got some stuff I want to go over, some stuff that's kind of been aggravating me a little bit. So we're probably going to call this something like tying up odds and ends and butthurt gripe session or something. I don't know. Alright guys, so here's the deal. I have not made a video in about a week and a half. There are various reasons why I haven't made a video in a week and a half. The biggest reason has been my job, as usual. Don't know if you guys realize it or not, but I don't do YouTube for a living. So the deal with that is I had to work all weekend. I was on call, and while I was on call, I got ran all over the place, so I really didn't have time to film much. Now, here's the kicker, guys. I actually, you know, a little bit here and there after work last week. You guys might remember I've got that 74 grill that I was trying to put in the truck. Well, I'm going to show you something right now. I was going to trim the grill to fit, but no matter how much trimming I do, it's just not going to work. So I would pretty much just have to cut the whole center out of the grill, which would be pointless. I really wanted that stock grill look in here, but it's just not going to happen with my setup. My intercooler's too thick. My piping's too thick, and that leads me to something I want to let you guys know. If you have a 7374 grill and you want to keep that grill and you're turbocharging your vehicle or your C10, do not use a 3-inch thick intercooler or 3-inch thick piping. If I had a 2.5-inch thick intercooler, and if I had done all my piping with 2.5-inch pipe, I could have put that grill in here. But because my piping's so thick, it's not going to work. I can't use it. Something to keep in mind, you know, for you guys who might be turboing your C10 and wanting to use the 7374 grill. What I'm going to end up doing is probably just getting one of those cheap $50, you know, bar grills on eBay and putting that in here. So I really wanted a stock grill in here, but I don't like the 75 and up grills. I wanted that 7374 grill, but that's not going to happen to me, or that's not going to happen for me. And so moving right along. As I said already, this video is probably just going to be me trying to finish off some stuff that I had already started on, and and probably talking to you guys, just you know, just rambling about some crap. One of the things that I kind of wanted to do is, you know, we had our oil leak under the turbo here. You know, we've been talking about fixing that for several videos, and the reason I didn't fix it in that one video is because I didn't want to have to take my turbo completely off. Well, I'm thinking that what I might be able to do, I actually, whoa, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a lot of oil. I don't know if I can get away with this or not, but what I'm going to try to do, is take my compressor housing off and see if, once I take my compressor housing off, if I can get to the oil line without having to take my whole turbo and everything off. And while I've got my compressor housing off, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with some black paint just to subdue it a little bit. But anyway, that's what I'm doing at the moment. So what is this stuff that Robert's going to gripe about today? Alright guys, here's the deal. You guys know, obviously, you know, with 2,200 subscribers, which is what I have at the time that I'm making this video, obviously, I don't live off my YouTube earnings. As a matter of fact, I have no intention of ever living off my YouTube earnings. I have a regular job that pays my bills and provides for my family. I am, however, trying to grow my audience. I mean, I would like for the channel to grow. You know, I'm not going to lie. I mean, you know, I'm doing everything I can to grow my channel. You know, short of, you know, jumping on a bunch of big YouTubers' sacks. So I am trying to grow the channel. I would like the channel to be somewhat successful. As I've already said, I don't have any plans of making it my sole income. What I would like for the channel eventually to be is self-supporting. And what I mean by self-supporting is, you know, the stuff that I do on the channel here, you know, some of it's to help you guys out. You know, it's all my projects, but most of it I'm paying for out of pocket. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've just now gotten to the point where I'm actually getting a monthly check from YouTube. You know, so I might make $150, you know, $200 a month on a good month. But I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm not complaining about that at all. That's awesome. I mean, I get to do something that I enjoy doing and make a little money. But what I want is for the channel to support itself, like I just said. And what I mean by that is, it would be nice if I didn't have to spend a bunch of money out of my own pocket to do these things. And I've already started, you know, kind of working along those lines. Just as an example, the headlights, the upgraded headlights that I put on Project Steppenwolf here, that was paid for with YouTube money. You know, I bought that stuff with YouTube money. And you know, so that was pretty cool. I was able to do that. It'd be nice if you know, all the little stuff that I do could be paid for with YouTube money. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, most of the stuff that I've done to this truck, well, all of the stuff up until about a month ago was paid for out of my own pocket. Now, that being said, that leads me to what I am griping about. Ever so often, you know, I log on to the channel and, you know, I deal with some smart ass sarcastic comments on my videos. That's great, guys. You got freedom of speech. That's wonderful. But most of it could be avoided. And what I mean by that is, this is actually a pet peeve of mine, guys. And I don't care if you're talking about on YouTube, or you're talking about on, wow, I put these on tight, or you're talking about on Facebook. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people watch a video and they skip through the video and then they make sarcastic, or, you know, they'll make comments or ask questions that all the information was already in the video. And the reason they don't know that the information was already in the video is because they either skipped through parts of the video or they just didn't freaking pay attention. But that stuff drives me nuts. And right along the same lines, well, it's not the same lines. It's the exact same thing that I just said. But you'll have people that will. Now, don't take this wrong, guys. I mean, I want suggestions. I want you guys to interact, and I want you to, if you see me doing something stupid, let me know, because you know, I've got humility, guys. I mean, if you point something out, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. But it drives me absolutely insane when people start commenting and criticizing, and every single thing they're saying I've already addressed in the video. I mean, that crap is freaking annoying. Is this gonna work? It's gonna work. Come here, little Turbieson. Little Turbieson. Okay. We're down to pretty much one bolt here to get this compressor housing off. But I mean, I'll give you some examples, and I just want to say some of my regular subscribers are pretty good about calling people out on it, because, you know, like I said, I'm trying to grow the channel, so I don't want to make somebody feel like an asshat. But if you're being an asshat, I mean, just don't be an asshat. Generally, holy crap, man, how tight is you? Wow, I over torque the crap out of stuff. John tells me all the time, he's like, dude, no wonder you strip stuff out. You over tighten the heck out of everything. But I mean, you guys can get on some of my videos and you know, see examples of that. And here's the deal. I usually leave the stuff up, even though it aggravates me. Sometimes I'll reply to it and I'll leave it up just so other people that watch the video, in case they did the same thing and skipped through, you know, they can see my replies. But you know, at the same time, I don't want a bunch of drama in my comment feed. So, you know, if you get on there and, you know, you start cussing and make, which, you know, I cuss too. I mean, obviously, you guys have heard some pretty foul stuff out of my mouth. But the point is, if you get in there, oh Lord, if you get in there and make a comment and, you know, start cussing and saying all kinds of obscene crap, you know, just being a general douchebag, I'm gonna delete your comment, because, you know, I want the atmosphere on this channel to be like somewhat friendly, man. I mean, you know, I'm not a 20-year-old asshole, and I'm not saying all 20-year-olds are assholes, but I'm just saying I don't want this to be one of those channels where I have to get on every day and, you know, be a douchebag to other douchebags, because there's too much douchebaggery floating around. So, you know, if you make a comment and it's addressed in the video, what I've been doing up until this point, and that's what I'm getting to, this is about to change. What I've been doing is, you know, if you say something that's in the video, I've just been saying, yeah, I already covered that in the video, guy. And sometimes I'll even post the minute mark in the video where it's covered or something like that. You know, which is just me trying to, can I pull this out of here? No. Which is just me trying to kind of say, hey man, pay attention, you know, without being a douchebag about it. But I'm going to stop doing that, guys. And the reason I'm going to stop doing that is because it's getting really annoying at this point. Because it seems like every day I log on and there's at least 2 or 3 comments on the videos that are completely unnecessary. You know, people are saying stuff that was talked about, covered 3 or 4 times in the video, you know, stuff like that. Oh, I was going to give you an example, wasn't I? One of the examples that I was going to give you was actually, I did a video a long time ago, guys, and this video was how to kill an LS engine. Some of you might have actually come to the channel and subscribed because of that video. But the video was entitled How to Kill an LS Engine with a $15 eBay part in under 100 miles or something like that. And it's a crappy video. I actually filmed that video 3 or 4 years ago. Okay? And when I first filmed that video, I had no intention of putting it on YouTube. As a matter of fact, You know, Bad Luck Garage didn't even exist as a YouTube channel or as anything else. It wasn't even a thought in my mind years ago when I made that video. And the reason I made that video was because I was on a truck forum. It was the 67 through 72 ChevyTrucks.com. I used to be on that forum. And right after I done my LS swap, I ended up developing a rod knock, and I couldn't figure out why. So, you know, a lot of people were asking, because I had a build thread, and people were asking, you know, what happened, why haven't I posted any progress in a while and stuff like that. And that was why. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. There's my wastegate dump tube, guys. I'm actually going to add on to that and run it out the side at some point, but anyway, that's out of the way. So the reason I made that video at the time was to number one, fill people in as to you know, what happened to the truck, why I hadn't posted in a while, and number two, to warn people about that part, and that if they're going to use that part, you know, to be careful about this or that. All right. Now, bearing that in mind, it is a really crappy video. I mean, I'll admit it. I've actually said it in the comments on the video. It is a really crappy video. It's long. It's drug out. It takes me like 10 minutes to get to the point. And, you know, that's fine. I understand that. But it is like a daily thing now. I get on the channel and people are criticizing that video. Despite the fact that, you know, I've explained myself in the comments 100 times, I still get people wanting to be assholes about it. Now here's the thing, guys. That video's already been viewed by like 6,000 people. I've actually had a lot of people come back and thank me for making that video, even though it's a piece of crap video, and I admit it's a piece of crap video. So I've helped a lot of people with that video, and I'm, you know, even though it's a crappy video, I'm happy about that, because in the end, that's why I make these videos, is to help people out. So my point is, now I know y'all are waiting for me to get to it because I've been rambling forever. My point is, don't be a douchebag, guys. I'm not making these videos for a living. You're not paying to watch these videos, okay? I'm doing these videos to help people out. And just because there's something in a video that you already know, that doesn't mean that everybody in the world already knows that, okay? So, you know, if I do a video that's really long because I'm doing an explanation of how something works, and all you want to know is what the part is, fast forward, guys. If you already know everything, then fast forward. You know, or look, or better yet, this is a good one too. Better yet, just look in the description, because most of the time, you know, I'll say what the part is or whatever in the description of the video. So if, you know, if it's something that you already know how something works, then just fast forward through and look at the description and find the part number or whatever you're looking for, because for every person that understands how something works, you know, there are thousands of people who don't. All right, and I try when I'm doing these videos, I try to break things down, yeah, as basic as I can for those people who have never picked up a wrench or never done this or never done that. I mean, I'm trying to help everybody here, guys. So just because you already caught on 2 minutes into the video and figured it out, that's not a reason for you to criticize the video, because the video is not just there for you. The video is there for anybody who needs it, And you know, young people or old people, I mean, there's old people who've never really worked on cars before, but you know, anybody who needs it. Everybody's not been working on cars since they were 12 years old. You know, I mean, some people need more help. Some people like the long, drug out explanations because it helps them understand things. And if you're not one of those people, I mean, that's great, you know. I mean, I'm glad that you don't need things explained to you, but you know, that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who do. And you just need to realize that when you're watching a video, whether it's my video or somebody else's video. I mean, you need to realize that as a content creator, we're trying to, well, my videos are mainly how-to videos, help videos, things like that. I'm probably going to start doing more videos where I just work on stuff. But for the most part, I enjoy doing the how-to videos to help people. But, you know, those type of videos, as a content creator, I'm trying to make a video that will help everybody out. So if you watch a minute of the video and you catch on and you're like, oh, that's great, then that's awesome, man. I mean, you know, do me a favor, click the thumbs up button. But there's no need to go back down in the comments and say, oh, I got it after 1 minute, you know, no need for you to keep rambling on. Well, yeah, there was, because, you know, there's that other guy who needed me to ramble for a few more minutes until he got it. And then there's another guy that needed me to ramble for a few more minutes until he got it. So, you know, I realize we live in a society where everything's about us now, you know, and what I mean by us is nothing's about us. Everything's about you. And, you know, that's just a crappy way to be, guys. I mean, as a society, that's just not a good way to be. So instead of worrying, you know, instead of talking crap because a video's a little longer and you got it a minute in, if you want to do anything in the comments, how about putting something useful in there, you know, maybe for somebody who might not catch on that quick. I mean, I've got no problem with you guys going on there and saying something like, you know, if you want to see where this part goes, just skip to, you know, 7 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever. You know, now I know some people just put that on there to be smart asses, but the honest to God's truth is, guys, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if, you know, because sometimes I don't think about that. Yeah, there might be somebody who's watching a video just to see one specific thing. So, you know, that's great. If you want to put that in the comments and say, hey, just skip to this part, I've got no problem with that, guys. But if you get in there and you say something like, you know, fuck this guy, he's an asshole and he rambles on, so just skip to this so you don't have to listen to his bullshit. Yeah, that comment's going to get deleted. Wow, these clamps are really giving me crap. So in case you guys still haven't got the point yet, I know most of my subs on this channel are great. You guys, you know, leave a lot of constructive feedback. Actually, you know, some of you have brought stuff up. Like one video that comes to mind is a video I did on doing the PCV system for a turbocharged LS engine. There were actually quite a few guys who chimed in on that one and were like, well, you know, you can just do it this way or this way. And I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, that's you know, that's more geared towards a race setup, but yeah, that's something that I probably should have put in the video. I mean, that's constructive criticism, guys. I mean, that's good. I like that, because I mean, I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. So if you've got something constructive to put in the comments, please do, by all means, put it in there. And you know, maybe I can make a notation about it or something like that. But if you're just being a douchebag, your stuff's gonna get deleted. I'm just letting you know right now, because honestly, I'm just, you know, I work like 10, 12 hours a day in the summer, especially. My job is really hectic, and the last thing that I'm gonna do is come home and just, you know, log on and deal with a bunch of smart assery. All right, this is awesome, guys, because I think by taking that housing off, I think that's actually going to give me just enough room to get in here with a wrench now and take my my oil drain line off. You can kind of see what's going on now. Got to have this big honking wrench to put on there, you know, because I didn't spend money. Wait, crap, I can't think of which way I need to turn it. Sorry guys, I just had one of those 11-hour days, so I need to go that way. Yeah, I just had one of those 11-hour days and my brain's not working right. Yeah, I'd shot a bunch of footage on the grill install, and I was actually going to make it a video, you know, about how to convert over to a 73-74 grill, because it's actually a pretty popular thing to do, and what parts you needed and all that. But then I couldn't get the grill to fit, so that video didn't get finished, and I really apologize for that, guys, because that would have allowed me to get some content out for you guys over the weekend. But you know, everything doesn't always go like we plan. So where are we leaking from here? Really don't understand it. I don't understand it. We're just going all leaky McLeakerson over here, and I've been driving the snot out of this truck, guys, and you know, I'm just, like I said, it's not dumping oil, but it, you know, it's leaking oil, and I've got oil film residue all over everything, all over my boost controller, all over my inner fender here. So should have fixed this a long time ago, but like I keep saying, my job gets in the way. We're going to use the shittiest flashlight in the world. Try to take a look down here. Well, I'm going to say this. It does not appear to be leaking around the flange gasket. So the only place that I can see that it would be leaking would have to be from the AN fitting itself. Now, I had mentioned in a previous video how this AN fitting actually came with an O-ring in it. I'm going to show that to you guys again right now. I bought this eBay drain kit. You know, it came with all these different fittings, you know, -10 fittings, and they came with these O-rings. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it came with these O-rings down inside of them. And I was like, you know, I posted a video a while back and I was asking you guys, I was like, have you guys ever used these cheap drain lines? And if so, did you use the O-rings? Now, the only person that really replied back was Hunter from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, Hunter, if you're watching this, but I still don't know how to pronounce your last name. But Hunter from the channel Hunter Tuned, and he uses these kits all the time. So he was the only person who replied back, and he actually replied back and was like, man, honestly, I've never noticed the O-ring. So I don't know if that means that he usually installs them with the O-ring, or that, you know, the kits that he's buying haven't been coming with an O-ring in them. But you know what? I took it out because I have never in my life installed a an AN fitting with a freaking O-ring in it. So I took it out, but you know, it's seeping oil. So at this point, I'm going to put the O-ring back in and, you know, see if that fixes it or if it makes it worse. I mean, we won't know till we know, right? We're screwing this back in. The O-ring is in it now. Tighten it back up. All right, hopefully that takes care of that problem. Now, on to the meat. I actually wanted to paint this. Now, I bought some of this Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 paint and primer, and I actually used this to paint the new hood latch that I put on here that I'm about to take right back the heck off. But anyway, I used it to paint it, and I want to just let you guys know this 2-in-1 paint and primer Rust-Oleum. This stuff goes on really thick, guys. I found that out the hard way because I was painting in the dark and I couldn't tell, and I thought I was just putting it on, you know, just a medium coat. And when I brought my hood release back in the garage here, it was just dripping with paint. So just something you guys might want to know if you're looking for, you know, if you're trying to do like some precision painting or something. I don't recommend this. But what I am going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and clean this compressor housing up and hit it with a couple coats of that paint. You know, we'll mask off the areas we don't want to paint, obviously, and then when that goes back on, you know, it'll look a little nicer. Hey, is this thing on? All right, you're back. Okay, so we're just gonna mask a few things off here. Doesn't have to be all perfect and pretty. I mean, honestly, like that little nipple right there, I could just as easily probably pull it out, but not going for perfection here, guys. Wow, this is some junky tape. That's better. All right, so around our snout here. So the filter doesn't even go all the way on here. I should probably just mask like half of it off, but I've got plans later on, guys. We're going to build another air box, kind of like John and I built before I did the turbo, back when this was a NA build. I'm planning to do something similar, you know, a cold air box for the turbo. And yes, I realize that a cold air box on a turbo doesn't really do much because the turbo heats up the air. The intercooler is more important than having a cold air box, but I'm going to be doing it, and you don't hear this a lot on this channel, because usually I'm all about, hey, I don't, you know, it's not about the looks, it's about the performance. But I'm going to be doing it mainly for looks. You know, I like that subdued look under the hood, and now that we've done the whole turbo system, I've lost a lot of that look. You know, it used to look like almost a factory installed engine when I first did my swap, but the turbo has kind of ruined that for us. But if it was going to be ruined, at least it's making horsepower while it's being ruined, right? Alright, so our drain line is back on. I actually have our compressor housing. Yeah, see, there's no oil in our pipe coming out of our compressor housing, so it's obviously not an internal leak. But anyway, we've got our compressor housing outside. I've already put 2 coats of paint on it. That probably won't go back on in this video because I'm going to let it dry really well before I put it back on. But I'm just kind of trying to wipe off any oil that may still be down here, so that once we start driving this thing again, I'll be able to easily identify if it's still leaking. Yeah, and I want to say too, another shout out to Hunter from Hunter Tuned. I went back and watched his video where he made the boost leak tester, so I'm actually going to be making a video real soon where once I get all this back together, we're gonna make a budget boost leak tester, very similar to the one he made. I might add a few little tweaks to it, but pretty much it's going to be the same boost leak tester that Hunter made over on his channel, Hunter Tuned. Plugging you again, Hunter. So we'll be testing, everything. I'm going to be honest, guys. I realize I've not done a video since I went through in that one video and tightened all my clamps and everything up. But obviously I've been driving it. I've drove it several times. I pick my kids up from school almost every day in this thing, and I drive it around town and stuff. Actually, it's gotten to where I drive this more than I drive my Avalanche, but the only time I drive the Avalanche is when the weather's really crappy. But anyway, my point is, the last couple times I've drove this since I tightened all those clamps up, my boost gauge is staying solid now. It's not, it's not moving around like it was and wavering. So I'm not saying we have fixed all the boost leaks, but it would appear that we have fixed some. So that's a good thing. Now the next thing I want to do while we're out here is permanently mount our 2-stage boost controller. If you remember in our video that I did on this 2-stage boost controller, I just mounted it up here with zip ties because I wanted to make sure that it was going to function properly before I drilled any holes to permanently mount it. Well, the boost controller seems to be doing its job just fine. We've had some issues, but not with the boost controller. It seems to be working when I turn the knob, I get more boost. When I turn it the other way, I get less boost. And all the problems that I've had seem to be centered more around either a boost leak or just inefficiency with this small turbo. So we're gonna go ahead and call this boost controller good, and we're going to permanently mount it. This looks like a good spot. The bracket that comes with it is actually going to hold it off the side here a little bit, which is good. Shouldn't have to worry about rain dripping down on it and stuff. So that's where we're going to put it. Now, an issue I did notice when we were playing around with it initially is the screws didn't seem like they wanted to go into the bottom of it. So before I worry about the bracket, I'm actually going to attempt to run some screws up into the bottom where the bracket screws into it and make sure they're actually going to go in. Alright guys, so I'm looking at this boost controller at the bottom of it, and I think I may have found some an issue here. The issue that I found is I don't believe these holes are actually tapped. Like they don't have any threads in the holes here. Yeah, I don't think there's any threads in these holes. I've got this old Harbor Freight tap and die set, so the little handle that holds the taps doesn't work very great, so that's why I'm using this little crescent wrench. Does it make the stuff harder? Yes. Does it get the job done? Also yes. Alright guys, I was able to tap 3 holes, and you may be thinking to yourself, but Robert, there's 4 holes there. Yeah, but I lost one of the screws when we did the installation. I think I left it laying up here somewhere, so I've only got 3 screws, so no point in tapping that 4th hole, but 2 screws will hold it, so 3 is even better. Now we've just got to find some self-tappers. We're going to mount this bracket here, and then mount our boost controller right there. Cool thing is we got our housing painted. I just brought it back in here. I'm actually going to let it dry overnight before we put it back on there. But I think that's going to look pretty freaking slick in there, guys. Then moving on, what I did is I drilled a hole. I got the screw in the hole for our bracket here. You know, there's our bracket. The boost controller mounts on it like this. I've got 1 screw in there, so what I like to do is put 1 screw in, and that way it kind of keeps this still, so I can drill the other holes out, you know, without it moving around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright guys, we're down to 14% battery life, and I apologize. But I just found out the GoPro Hero 5 apparently has miserable battery life. But then again, I have had it on for almost 2 hours now. So, you know, the stuff you didn't see was me going out there and painting and stuff like that. And it's been on through all of that. So I guess that's actually pretty good battery life, but it kind of sucks because I'm going to have to cut this short. But we'll try to go ahead and get this mounted before the camera dies. We got our boost controller mounted. I'm actually going to redo these hoses a little bit. I'm going to try to make this hose come down. I'm going to just buy a longer piece of hose so it can come down and maybe tuck and come up in there. So I'm also going to redo this wire because that was all temporary. I'm probably going to run it down into the fender there and back so we don't just have this hanging here. And I still need to redo my headlight harness here. So my camera is about dead. I apologize for that, but that's okay because it's like 8:30 and I've got another long day tomorrow at work. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. You've listened to me rant. We got our boost controller mounted. We got our turbo housing, our compressor housing. We got that painted. We're gonna be putting it back on, and hopefully we've got our drain line leak fixed. But we won't know till we drive it, and we're not driving it again for a little while because you know, I've got it in the garage here. I'm going to finish doing all these little odds and ends. So look forward to some, you know, probably a crappy couple videos. Then we are going to make John happy. And I know you guys haven't seen John in a while. I've not really talked to him much either. I'm kind of letting him deal with his house stuff over there right now. But as soon as I get all this buttoned up, we're going to do some burnout videos, guys. So John will be happy about that. He's actually been wanting to make some burnout videos. He He just likes shredding tires, and he actually has several sets of tires over there that he's going to let me put on this thing. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So subscribe if you're not subscribed, and stay tuned for the fun. I'll see you next time on Bad Luck Garage.